In our MS Excel scenario task 1, we are looking at a shopping complex with 7 tenants. In this complex, there is a monthly power utility bill that we want to share based on the number of points. And the points are defined with the following guideline. Fan, 1 point. Bulb, that's energy saving bulb, half points. Air conditioner, 3 points. Fridge, 3 points. Iron, 3 points. Radio, 1 point. Television, 1 point. So we shall be counting for each tenant with the points calculated done in Excel, as we shall show in the following demonstrations. So we are looking at a typical Excel worksheet. So we have the title bar where we see the Excel scenario file name, then with the extension XLSX, then the program is Microsoft Excel. So on the first line up here, we have the quick access toolbar where we can put all the menu items that we want to be listed here. So if I select open becomes listed. If I don't want open again, I click it again, then it goes off. And we have our ribbons, the ribbons and the ribbon tab. They are the old menu system that we have on our programs. Inserts tab and the menu items, page layouts, formula, data. Basically, Excel is a program for calculations. So we have a lot of formulas for basic science, physics, mathematics, statistics, financial, and so on and so forth. The data activities can connect to a database system, can do filtering, sort data, and so on and so forth. Can review, view. We shall be looking at all these items in our video presentation that has been shared. So we have the name box that tells us the location of our cell. Our cell is now located at E14, that's column E, row 14. And we have the formula bar that represents the contents of the cell E14. Also, the formula bar will be the place where we will be seeing our formula and the expression that we're using in calculating figures. We shall be looking at all these ones as we progress in the training. So the columns are labeled A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and so on. It's a large number of columns. The rows are labeled 1, 2, 3 up to 25, as can be seen on the screen. The rows too are very large. We have more than 1 million rows in Excel. You can jump there just to see the number of rows that we have in Excel. Just jump to the last item there. We have 1,448,576 rows. And for the columns, we have XFD column. We can start counting from A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K up to Z. Then A, B, A, C. We can't count until we get to the last column. Then the rows are numbered, so we just count from 1 till we get to 1 million plus. We can see the size of the sheet. It's very big. So we've agreed that fan on this our Excel scenario task. Excel scenario task 1. So we agree that fan should be 1 point. Let me insert a column. Let me insert a row just by right clicking on that particular row, and then I select insert menu. So I will have a row inserted. The same is applicable to columns. If in the midst of your working and you discover that you need an extra column, just right click on the column and do insert. So a new column is inserted for you. So let me pick household, just a title, household item, and then allotted points. Now, when we are working in Excel and we observe that the space is not big enough, we just need to expand the column by dragging. So we drag when there's a two-headed arrow, two-pointing arrow. We can drag to expand, or we can drag to the left to reduce, but now we need to expand. The other option is to double click. Can double click the line in between the two columns for an auto alignment. So the household item is fan. Then we have 1 point. Bulb, energy saving bulb. Let's change it to energy saving bulb. Energy bulb. Half points. Air conditioner 3 points. Fridge 3 points. Iron 3 points. Radio 1 point. TV 1 point. So we have a current bill is 15,000 naira. Let me input a command. There's a formatting code there. Under this format group, we have a code now it's called comma style. It will insert comma into our numbers with decimal points, 2 decimal points. So we can write our current bill in that figure for any month. Then tenant 1 says he has 3 fans, 10 bulbs, 3 air conditioners, 2 fridges, 1 iron, 1 radio, and 1 television. Now to allocate points, we pick the quantity that he has times the number of points for that particular household items. So what do? We start by pressing equal sign on our keyboard. Equal sign is on the top part of the keyboard. Then we just put the mouse pointer on the number of points for fan, which is 1. So we click 1. So at the point of clicking, computer have decided the cell address. We are in cell E3. That is where the fan points, the allocated point is. Then we now times it. So we use asterisk symbol as a multiplication in Excel and even in computer generally. So we use asterisk as a multiplication sign. Then we times it by the number of fans that it has. Now, 1 point is, I want to use this this is a relative reference cell. E13. E13 is the cell that contains its number of fans, and E3 is the number of points for fan. So because I want everybody to have that E3 as an address that we're going to use to calculate the number of points for them. So what we do is we make E3 an absolute cell reference. To create an absolute cell reference, you type F4 while the cell address is selected. So I press F4 and you can see what happened. F4 is a command key for absolute. It makes that cell to be absolute. We're going to explain the meaning of absolutes as we go along in the training. But don't forget, this is a demonstration package, so we just say what is possible with Excel. Now I've done the absolute cell reference to the number of allotted points for fan, which is 1, and I've left the number of fan that the tenant 1 has as a relative reference. So I'm going to press enter. Okay, when I press enter, computer will evaluate. You can look at the formula bar. Computer will evaluate the content of E3 times it by the content of E13. That is 1 times 3. The answer is 3. So I'm going to copy the formula to all the other tenants. So I'm copying this formula. This is a formula already calculated by the spreadsheet. So let's just calculate, copy, Control C. You press Control C. Going to do the same calculation for tenant 2, tenant 3, tenant 4, tenant 4, tenant 5, tenant 6, and tenant 7. So what I'm going to do now is to know the number of fans. How many fans the way is tenant 3 using? Let's say he has 3 fans. How many fans is tenant 4 using? Say he has 5 fans. How many fans is tenant 5 using? Say he has 2 fans. How many fans is tenant 6 using? Has 6 fans. How many fans is tenant 7 using? He has 2 fans. We said that the alignment is for numbers is to the right, and for text is to the left. So let's make this alignment to be left aligned, just to align with the other numbers that we have. So let's do the same thing for the bulb. To bulb, how many points for bulb? Energy saving bulb is half points. So I'm going to press an equal sign. I'm going to pick the figure for the points of the bulbs, and I make it an absolute figure because it's applicable to all the other tenants. And I'm going to times the multiplication, that's asterisk, times it by the number of bulbs that tenant 1 has, and we have an answer. Tenant 2 has 8 bulbs, so let's copy this formula into the tenant 2 bulbs cell. We continue doing that for all the other tenants so that we see the power of Excel in helping us to do automation of our figures and calculations. So let's see how many bulbs is tenant 3 using. Let's say 8 bulbs. Tenant 4, how many bulbs? 6 bulbs. Tenant 5, how many bulbs? 4 bulbs. Tenant 6, how many bulbs? 7 bulbs. Tenant 7, how many bulbs? 5 bulbs. So I'm going to do a selection so that all the entries in these cells, this range, will be aligned left, just like others. So I've done that. I selected the range of the cells from F25, G25, H25, 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 and K25, and I click the alignment button, align left. So align text left. So I've done that. And any subsequent entry will always be aligned left. So we have said air conditioner is 3 points. So let's start. We want to calculate the number of points for air conditioner of this tenant 1. So we have equal sign, then air conditioner is 3 points. Select 3 points, make it an absolute with key F4, then times by the number of air conditioner that it has. So air conditioner for tenant 1 is 9 points. So we're going to repeat it for all the other tenants. Okay, so the figures are not being put yet, but Excel will automatically generate for us as soon as we put the figures, because in calculating the total points, it's going to follow the same pattern that we have for tenant 1. It will pick the number of points allocated for the household item, times it by the number that the tenant has. So let's say tenant 2 has 2 air conditioners, tenant 3 has only 1, tenant 4 has 4 air conditioners, tenant 5 has 3 air conditioners, tenant 6 has 4, tenant 5 has 3. So that is how all the points have been generated. So for fridge, do the same thing, equals times how many points for fridge. Let's go there, select it, make it an absolute value, 1, 2, 3, absolute value, then times it, that's asterisk, by the number of fridges that tenant 1 has. So the computer calculate that. Let's now copy that information to all the other tenants, so that we can, as soon as we put their number of household items, the computer will generate the number of points for the items. So tenant 2 has 3 fridges, tenant 3 has 2 fridges, tenant 4 has 4 fridges, tenant 5 has 2 fridges, tenant 6 has 3 fridges, tenant 7 has 1 fridge. So iron, okay, so you can also put, okay, tenant 2 has 2 irons, tenant 3 has 1, tenant 4 has 3 irons, tenant 5 has 2, tenant 6 has 1, tenant 7 has 1. Then radio, tenant 2 has 2, tenant 3 has 3, tenant 4 has 2, tenant 5 has 2, tenant 6 has 3, tenant 4 has 3. Then television, tenant 2 has 2, tenant 3 has 3, tenant 4 has 2, tenant 5 has 3, tenant 6 has 4, tenant 7 has 1. So we're going to install the formula now. So let's do the formula. We have equals to iron is here, iron is in E7. Make it an absolute reference, since all the tenants will be referring to that. Then times it by the number of iron that the tenant has. So we have the calculation. So let's copy this to all the tenants. So copy that, copy that, copy that, copy that. The beauty of it is we just need to do this once. The subsequent calculations will only require us to insert the bill, and the computer will generate the number of points for each person, and the bill will be generated. So let's see now. For radio, we are going to insert a formula equals to, radio is located in E8. Make it an absolute cell, times it by the number of radio we have here, and the answer is there. Let's do the TV. So we have TV is in E9, number of points is E9. Make it an absolute cell, then times it by the number of TV that it has. So we've done for tenant 1. What I want to do is I want to show us that it's possible to copy formula in a range and paste them, and it works the same way. It works the same way, so that it doesn't matter whether we do it one by one or we do it at a go. I guess it will be faster if we do it at a go like that. Now we have gotten all the units with the points. So let's calculate the number of points for tenant 1. So what we're going to do is to do a formula for summation. So let's use equal sign. Then there's a formula under the list here. We can see all the functions that we can use. We use sum, can do average, can do sum, and so on and so forth. So we use sum. Then there's what is called a dialog box. On this dialog box, computer wants us to select the range of the cells that I want to calculate the formula for. So you can see it's already chosen for us by default. We want to sum up all the points for tenant 1. So when it's agreeing with our, okay, I think there's a mistake here. Let's delete and just do a property. Let's delete and do a property. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. That's a mistake. Equals to, then I choose sum. Okay, so we're picking from E14 to K14, and when we are satisfied with that, we can see it in the formula. We see the range indicated with a colon, E14 colon K14. That's indication of the highlighted range. That's, we can see it. So you select it by pressing enter. So it has copied that. So we just copy the same way we've been copying formulas. You use Ctrl plus C together. Then you copy for all the other tenants. So computer will calculate the summation based on the range counting from the left, just like we did for the tenant 1. So computer is very good at repetition. So now we can do a totaling of all the points. So all the points now, let's do another way of summation. Is on the ribbon, you can use auto sum. So when we do auto sum, okay, computer highlighted just one cell for us because of the space that we have there. But with a shift key, if you press a shift key and you press up arrow key, okay, can extend the range for the summation from L13 to L26. So you select it, it's in line with what we want to do, press enter. So the total number of points calculated for the shopping complex is 228. Now, since our total bill is 15,000, so what we're going to do is rate. That's the unit per points, or let's call it bills per points. Total bills per point. So how do you get bills per point? That is for each point. What do we have for each point? So we just use a formula again. That's total bill that they brought divided by, there's a division line on the keyboard, divided by the total number of points. So that means a point now is 65 naira 79 kobo. 65 naira 79 kobo. No, so we're going to do the multiplication back. So when each point is 65 naira 79 kobo, let's put it here. Points per tenant. So we can expand it. So points per tenant is 31 points. Now, to know the bill per tenant, what do? We just multiply the points times the rates, and the rate is the same for everybody. So we're going to use equal sign times equal signs, then the points for these tenants times the rates, bills per point. But the bills per point is going to be applicable to every tenant, so it should be an absolute value. We have the answer. I'm going to copy this one for all the tenants. So we just select the range and you copy down, Control D. So that's what we have. Every tenant have the bill. So you can see at this last point here, our total bill should reflect. Okay, so that's 15,000. So that means tenant 1 will be paying 2,039. So let me just equals to this one is there. Okay, so this will reflect in others because of what is called relative reference. Computer will go to the same location and copy the value there. So tenant 1 is having a bill of this thing. Now the beauty of this thing is another month that they bring bill of 17,000, just as about 17.5. So you don't bother yourself in these calculations again. You just slot in the figure and you have all the points. Another time they bring a bill of 10,000. Okay, slot in the figures and you have the figure, the points. So it makes life easy. And if any tenant is increasing or reducing their appliance, we just do the needful, and the system, the Excel spreadsheet will correct the figures. Let's say this tenant 2 has reduced the iron to 1. See, all the figures will automatically recalculate itself. Thank you very much.